Is organized religion holding you back? The reason why I say that, or the reason why I ask that question, is because I feel like organized religion has held me back. Personally, I feel organized religion will demonize you if you don't adhere to the rules verbatim. I feel organized religion puts you too much in a box to where you can't flourish as God or the universe intends for you to flourish. You see, if you're not doing by the church or doing for the church, or if you're not doing what your specific organization may say, or you're not acting in that manner, they will demonize you. They will outcast you, you know. They will call you all kinds of names. But why is that? You see, I don't think life is so black and white that if you adhere to this Bible verbatim, you go to heaven. And if you don't, you go to hell. Because if nobody is perfect, as God has said, nobody's perfect, I believe you have to be a perfect individual to be verbatim with the Bible. That means nobody will be going to heaven. You see? So if you tell me that if I eat pork, or if you tell me if I smoke marijuana, you know, or if you tell me I, you know, drink alcohol, not abuse alcohol, not abuse marijuana, not abuse pork, you know, you tell me if I make a nice living, but I'm not greedy, I'm not selfish, you know, if I do all these things, I still go to hell, you know. If I don't know certain scriptures, but I have a motivational message to speak to the people, but I don't back it by the scriptures of the Bible, I go to hell, or I'm a heathen, you know. So these are just certain questions that I have. I personally feel organized religion holds people back. Because if we have all these religions, who's to say who's right and who's wrong? So if, say for instance, being Jewish is correct, everything else is wrong? Or if being Muslim is correct, everything else is wrong? Or if being Christian is correct, everything is wrong? Or Catholic is correct, everything is wrong? Or Seventh-day Adventist, or, you know, or Mormons, or this and that. Now, by no means am I saying I'm an atheist, because I do believe in God, and I believe in spirituality. So by no means am I saying I'm an atheist, no. But what I'm saying is I've opened my eyes to a bigger picture, and it has allowed my wings to spread even more. Which ultimately I believe is what we're here for, is the ultimate human experience. Not to be put in a box. Or not for us to be, you know, clicked or in an organization that doesn't do for the advancement of people, you know. I believe church is like school. Church prepares you, quote unquote, for heaven, you know. School prepares you, quote unquote, for work, but school doesn't prepare you for real life, you know. I believe church or organized religion doesn't prepare you for real life. It doesn't prepare you for the human experience. It prepares you to be the perfect human, quote unquote, for heaven or for God, but it doesn't prepare you for what we are here for now. And that's my hang up that I have with organized religion. You know, have you ever felt bad for not abiding by the rules? You know, and they say if you don't abide by the rules, you're a bad person now. You see, I feel like anything that's for the betterment of you should not make you feel bad if you cannot adhere to the rules perfectly. You know, I believe that is the beginning of something like unrealistic expectations. Now, is the Bible false? I'm not going to sit here and say if it's true or false, but what I will say, I believe it's just a reference guide for us to reference in times of need. You know, this book is a good reference guide if you are lost or if you need some kind of guidance or some kind of help. I believe that's what the Bible is truly for. Should it be taken verbatim? No, I wouldn't. Because I feel like because they say it's been a word given by God, but it's been rewritten, so many times, especially by people in power, in order for them to stay in power. It's been rewritten for their benefit. So I believe the only thing that we have here for us to connect to God, to get his word, is our soul. Are you in tune with your soul? I believe that's the most important thing, because when you're in tune with your soul, you're in tune with the universe and you're in tune with God. And then at that point, he can tell you how to move. He can tell you what to do. He can tell you what to read. He can tell you who to stay away from and how to handle certain situations when you're in tune. But when you're not in tune, which means when you're in the world, then you lose that signal. You lose that connection. And I reference the Bible. That's why they say you should be in the world, not of the world. So it's cool to be here, and enjoy the trinkets, enjoy the life, yes. But to be of the world, to be of what is going on, no. So when you're not of the world, when you're just in the world, but you're still connected to the Most High, you're still connected to the universe, and you're able to get those downloads, now you're on a different level. Now, I personally believe you don't necessarily need things like the Bible or a pastor or organized religion and things of that sort, because you're getting automatic downloads from the Most High. Now, when you're getting automatic downloads from the Most High, how can a pastor compete with that? How can a preacher or an evangelist or anybody, a bishop, anybody, in any religion, any higher personnel in that religion, how can any of them tell you when you're automatically synced in with the Most High? You are directly plugged in. How can anybody, tell you anything? So I feel like a lot of people have lost their way. A lot of people have bent who they truly are, or shied away from who they truly are, ran the opposite way of who they truly are, due to these doctrines and due to these organized religions and due to these things, God has called you here to speak a certain way and move a certain way, look a certain way. But the organized religion that you have accepted has demonized that. Will turn the other cheek against you if you choose to go down that path. Instead of accepting you, because that's how God made you. You see, the one place that you run to for acceptance demonizes you for the way God has made you. Yet they're supposed to accept you. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily be a heathen, because you have to have a soul. And you can't have a soul if you're a heathen, So I'm not saying that. But I believe if one is not to be a part of organized religion, I believe one should have their soul intact. Once you have your soul intact, you're connected to the Most High. When you're connected to the Most High, boom, you're getting automatic downloads. He's telling you how to move. And when I say he, I believe God is bigger than a he or a she or anything like that, So I'm just putting some kind of name tag, but best believe God is much bigger than all of that. So like I said, once you're getting downloads from the Most High, hey, you won. Now it's time for you to enjoy the human experience. And I believe that's what we're all supposed to do. We're all supposed to be tapped in with the Most High and then enjoy the human experience. Don't tread on somebody. Don't do unto somebody you want one done to yourself, and be a good person. And I believe once you have just those minor things, you know, you're good. Because we have one life to live, as we know it here in this human experience, you know. So what if we're so concerned about going to a heaven or going to a hell and doing all this, we don't get to enjoy the human experience like we're supposed to? And what if that was our assignment? What if that our assignment was from God to enjoy this human experience because it's going to prepare you for the next step? You know, it's like you're in school, you're so worried about 4th, 5th, 6th grade, but yet you're in 3rd grade and you're not even grasping the content or the course material in 3rd grade to prepare you for 4th and 5th grade, yet you worried about 4th and 5th grade. So it's the same thing here. We're so worried about going to heaven or going to hell and this and that and this and that. We're not even in tune and in sync with what's going on right here. And what's going on right here is what we may need for the next step or whatever is going on. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, yes, we can have faith, but we do not know. All we can see is right here and have faith that something else is going to go on afterwards. But when you have faith, you have to be present. That's what God said. God is present. So why are we anxious about going to heaven and going to hell and dictating all that instead of being present? So we must be present and have a good soul. Once you're present, have a good soul, you get those downloads from God and downloads from the universe, then you're good money. Your life will start flowing. You won't start being anxious and depressed. You start really, truly being who you are. Imagine how many people act out, you know, due to organized religion. You know, just like the pastor's kids. You know, the pastor's kids become the worst kids, quote unquote. So I believe it's because of that stranglehold that's been put on them. Imagine if they were allowed to spread their wings, they wouldn't be as radical. They wouldn't be as bad, quote unquote. They wouldn't, they wouldn't do the extremes. They wouldn't be that pastor's kids mindset or concept that we have about them. Like I said, I look at who I am as a person, my people come from. It's been before Christianity and things of that sort. We didn't follow Christianity. So would I be going to hell if I went my own way? I don't believe so. Like I said, would I go to hell if I didn't subscribe to quote-unquote Christianity or Muslim or this and that? Would I go to hell if I didn't subscribe to any of those things? But I'm a good person. If I help people, if I'm not greedy, if I'm not gluttonous, if I don't lust, And you could say those are the basic commandments of, like I said, I believe the Bible is a good reference guide, yes. That's why I can reference, the 10 Commandments, because I believe when I look at the 10 Commandments, I say, these are good principles, to live by, to be a good person. So that's just my take on it. If organized religion is holding people back. Another thing, I believe it doesn't allow for actual self-reflection and for people to take accountability for themselves, for their mistakes and things of that sort. Reason being is because when people mess up, they automatically blame the devil. Boom, that was the devil. Instead of actually looking in the mirror and saying, hey, I might have made that mistake. Let me, tune up a little bit. Let me tune myself up a little bit so I don't make that mistake, Or automatically we mess up and we say, oh, nobody's perfect, and we throw up our hands. Instead of actually, seeing if we can rectify that situation. Nobody's perfect. How many times have we said that? Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Instead of striving to be the best you can be, we automatically throw our hands up. Or how many times have we said Jesus died for our sins, so we believe it's okay for us to sin? Instead of you striving not to sin, or you striving to overcome those temptations that, quote unquote, those sins. But hey, that's just my thoughts. It's an open thought. If you feel some type of way, you can comment below. Let's have an open discussion, If you feel against what I'm saying, if you feel organized religion is for the people, cool. Let's have an open discussion. Now, I do believe if people have lived a wild life and things of that sort, I do believe organized religion can help them get, somewhat back on path. I do believe that. But to necessarily stay on that path for their whole life, I guess if it keeps them out of trouble, cool. But who's to say some of that trouble might not make them, reach their higher self? Some of those mistakes. We look at people like Malcolm X, some of those mistakes. Yet some people may say organized religion was his downfall. But like I said, some of those mistakes that he had in his early life made him who he was as Malcolm X. So, like I say, it just always depends on the people. So like I said, it's an open discussion. If you feel some type of way, if you feel against what I'm saying, cool, comment below. If you feel that organized religion has held you back and you've went your own way and you feel better about it, cool. Same thing. Comment below and let the people know. But I believe this is a discussion that can help people. That's about it. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.